Can you help me understand this observer is the observed? Thanks, love from India. Yeah, nice question. So, what is it that's looking out of your eyes right now? Who is it that's looking out of the eyes right now? So we always think that there is somebody in here looking out of the eyes, whereas there's nothing in here looking out of the eyes. There is looking happening, but that looking isn't placed anywhere. It's not the looking's coming from in here, or the looking's out there. When you really examine, the consciousness and the objects are one and the same thing. So right now, when you're looking at me, where does your consciousness end and I begin? So you think like, I am here with my consciousness and I'm inside here and the world begins out there. But where does your consciousness actually end? Like, can you find the place where your consciousness ends and the world begins? When you really examine that, you'll notice that the consciousness is actually the things. And that the consciousness isn't located somewhere. It's not located inside the head. It's not located behind the head. It is everything that is. That's love. That's unconditioned love. And it's the same with the sense of I am. Not I am something, not I am and I know I am. This sense of being, this initial sense of existence. It's love. It doesn't start anywhere or stop anywhere. It doesn't start inside the heart or inside the body. It is all things. That sense of being encompasses everything. There isn't a start or stop to it. And what happens at some point is that breaks, and then there's just an energetic shift, and that is, you expand to that, and that is known, and that is permanent. It was always permanent, but it just seemingly was veiled and covered by this illusion of you. This illusion that there is an entity inside this body looking out separate from the world. It looks out and it ends here, and then the world begins. And that's such a crazy notion. What is your experience? If you come back to the experience, there isn't an ending anywhere. You don't end anywhere. And when I say you don't, I mean that which always is. The ideas of you change, your feelings change, your emotions change, your thoughts change, your pains change, your joys change, the experience changes. But what doesn't change is this empty looking and the sense of I am, the sense of being. That's always here in every experience, and it is never separate from the experience. So the observed and the observing is one and the same thing. That is who you are. And in that appears this magnificent thing called the human. And it's this, what's being talked about isn't happening on the human level. It's beyond the human. The human comes and goes in that. We're always looking for it in the human, like, when will I get it? When will I understand it? When will I know this? How do I get it? And you can't get it, because you is something, this ever-moving, ever-expanding phenomenon that doesn't exist as a separate entity. It's like clouds. You are like clouds that are going through the skies, constantly changing shape, coming and going. But what doesn't come and go is this presence, this I amness, this amness, and this empty looking. But not I am something, not I am that is owned by anything. It's alive, radical beingness. It's so juicy. And that is what is. That is the truth. That is what's looking out now, and that is God. That is beyond human. But yet it's the most intimate sense of being, and that's the God factor. That's where God is. All these statues and all these stories about God and being in heaven and wearing yellow and all these churches and monuments, that's not God. God is the looking. God is the being. And it's in everything. Everything.